Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're going to be taking a look at a content creator who claims to have used AI to explode his Instagram following.
Whoa, hold on. Explode his following.
Yeah, like seriously impressive growth.
Color me intrigued.
So he says he went from like 3,000 followers
Okay.
to a whopping 238,000.
Wow. That's
Pretty impressive.
yeah, that's a big jump.
And a lot of it, he says, is thanks to AI.
Interesting.
Our source material for this deep dive is this YouTube video.
Okay.
It's from Mindvalley Talks. It's called How I Gained 200K New Insta Fans with AI.
Okay, cool.
And the creator, his name's Dominic, he really breaks down everything he did.
I'm curious to hear this.
Yeah.
Before we even get into like all the AI stuff though.
Yeah.
Dominic mentions that he actually struggled for like 5 years to grow his following before he found this like magic formula, you know.
Oh, so this wasn't just like an overnight success story.
Right. Yes.
He put in the work.
Yeah. He was trying all sorts of things like fashion posts, carousels, showing off his Photoshop skills.
Oh, wow.
Trying all the things.
And nothing was really working.
Yeah, and it just goes to show that even the people who seem like they've made it overnight often have like years of trial and error behind them.
Right. Persistence is key.
Totally.
So it sounds like he was really trying to like figure out what worked.
Yeah.
What was resonating with people.
And I think what's interesting is that he kind of realized that he needed to shift his perspective.
Mm.
He was so focused on himself in the beginning, but using AI kind of forced him to be more audience-centric.
Oh, that's interesting.
To actually think about what his audience wanted and needed.
Okay, so instead of just like, throwing things out there and seeing what sticks, he's like, how do I actually provide value?
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And that's where the AI comes in.
Okay, tell me more.
So he starts using this tool called Agent GPT.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I've been playing around with it a bit myself.
Have you?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, so far, I've just been using it for, kind of like brainstorming and stuff.
Right.
But I'm curious to see how he used it on such, like, large scale
Yeah.
for growing his following.
Yeah, so at first, he wasn't really getting the results he wanted.
Ooh, okay.
Why do you think that was?
Well, maybe he wasn't giving it enough information.
You're right on the money.
Okay.
He was basically treating GPT like a magic content machine,
Right.
Just throwing prompts at it and hoping for the best.
Like, give me a viral Instagram post.
Right, exactly. Without any context.
Right.
And of course, the results were pretty generic, not really aligned with his brand voice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like going to a restaurant and just saying, give me food.
Uh-huh, right.
You might get something edible, but it's not going to be, what you were really craving.
Exactly.
So it's all about like what they call good data in, good data out. You've got to give these AI models the right information if you want them to generate quality stuff.
So it's like you have to kind of teach it.
Yes,
No.
exactly.
So-
Train it. Train the AI.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so he had to realize that he needed to train GPT.
How did he go about doing that?
Well, he started feeding it very specific information about his brand voice.
Okay.
The tone, the kind of language he used, even like the values he wanted to communicate.
So he went beyond just like, basic keywords.
Right. It was about really defining his brand identity.
I'm getting that into GPT.
Yeah.
So it's like GPT had a much better understanding of his style,
Exactly.
his personality.
And get this, he actually went as far as asking GPT itself.
Wait, hold
He defined
He asked GPT to define something.
Yeah. To define the components of a strong brand voice.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
So he's using the tool to help him understand the very concept he's trying to refine.
Exactly.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Did he, like, share that with anyone?
He did. He actually shared a template.
Oh, wow. That he created with GPT's help that people can use to define their own brand voice.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I've got to check that out.
It's super valuable.
I love when creators are so open about their process.
Right.
And they like actually give you the tools to, try it yourself.
Exactly.
It's like they're not just, showing off.
They're sharing the knowledge.
Yeah, they're actually teaching.
Right. And he didn't stop there.
Okay, what else did he do?
So he knew that to really get the most out of GPT, he had to go beyond basic keywords and definitions.
Okay.
He started feeding it transcripts of his most successful videos.
Ooh, wow.
Like he was showing GPT, this is what works, this is what my audience loves.
So he went from telling GPT about his brand voice to actually showing it examples of that voice in action.
Right. It's like instead of just giving someone a recipe book, or
Yeah.
giving them a cooking demonstration.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
I like that.
It's about seeing it in practice.
So GPT was basically learning from his past successes.
Exactly.
Okay, and then it could, like, tailor its recommendations to his specific audience.
Yeah. And you know what's even cooler? He started feeding it performance metrics for each video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like the likes, comments, shares, all of that.
So it could see, like, what was actually resonating.
Exactly. Which words, which phrases were driving engagement.
Oh, okay, that's amazing.
It's like having a data analyst
Yeah.
constantly crunching the numbers,
Right.
telling you what's working and what's not.
So GPT was essentially getting smarter with each piece of data he fed it.
Right. It was a constant learning process for both of them.
I like that.
And through this process, Dominic, with GPT's help, stumbled upon a content structure that really resonated with his audience.
Okay, I need to know what this structure is.
It's actually pretty simple, but effective.
Tell me.
He found that his videos performed best when he started by hooking viewers with an interactive opening.
Okay, gotta grab their attention right away.
Right. Then he'd deliver unique, creative content in his authentic voice.
Show them what you're all about.
And finally, always include a strong call to action.
Okay, so it's like hook them, wow them, and tell them what to do next.
Exactly.
It's great advice even if you're not using AI.
Absolutely.
You know, just knowing how to structure your content is crucial no matter what.
I think so too.
Okay, so we've got data, we've got structure. What else?
Well, you know what's really interesting? Dominic figured out how to use AI to tap into something very human. Emotions.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
How did he do that?
He realized that people are drawn to content that addresses their anxieties, their concerns, their pain points.
Makes sense.
You know, those things that keep us up at night?
Right.
He calls them the 3 Fs.
Okay, what are the 3 Fs?
Unfairness, fear, and frustration.
Ah, I see.
We've all scrolled through our feeds and stopped on a post that just, like, made us feel seen, you know?
Totally. Like, it just, like, understood what you were going through.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
Yeah, and Dominic gives the example of AI-related anxieties. You know, people worried about job displacement, feeling overwhelmed by all the new tools.
Right. It's a lot to take in.
It is. And instead of just, like, dwelling on these fears, he uses them as a springboard to offer solutions and insights.
Okay, so he's not just, like, fear-mongering.
No.
He's actually trying to help people.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging the hard stuff,
Right.
but then helping people navigate it.
So he's turning those anxieties into opportunities for connection and engagement.
Right.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. And he takes this even further by using something called Alex Hermos's value equation.
Okay, I've never heard of that. What's that?
It basically boils down to 4 factors: dream outcome, certainty, speed, and effort.
Interesting.
It's a framework for understanding what motivates people,
Oh, okay.
what they truly value.
So he's, like, using this equation
To generate content ideas.
Okay.
He'll ask GPT something like, what are some common frustrations people face when trying to achieve dream outcome quickly and with minimal effort? It's like he's hacking the human psyche with the help of AI.
I love it. It's pretty amazing.
It's like he's not just using AI for, like, you know, the technical stuff.
Right.
He's actually using it to understand the psychology of his audience.
That's exactly it.
That's impressive.
And to create content that really speaks to their needs and desires.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
We've talked about data, we've talked about structure, we've talked about emotions.
We've talked about value.
Value, yes.
But, you know, to consistently create great content, you've got to stay informed, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Dominic has a pretty interesting approach to this.
Okay, I'm all ears.
He actually has a dedicated email address just for subscribing to newsletters.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yep.
separate from his, you know, personal email and everything?
Exactly.
That's smart.
It's just for industry news and insights.
I like that.
He calls it his daily dose of essential knowledge.
It's like having a personalized news feed tailored to his interests and goals.
I love that idea.
And then he makes it a habit to review these newsletters every morning.
Oh, so he's staying on top of trends.
Totally. He's constantly learning and adapting.
That's awesome.
Which brings us to another really cool thing.
Okay.
Dominic emphasizes that creating high-quality content doesn't have to mean breaking the bank.
Yeah, that's a common misconception.
Right. People think you need all this fancy equipment.
Yeah, like a whole studio setup.
He actually reveals his entire lighting setup.
Oh, really?
And guess what? He
Wow.
uses household lamps.
No way.
Yeah. He's got a backlight,
Okay.
a hair light, and a key light.
So he's just using lamps strategically placed.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so resourceful.
It is. It just goes to show that you don't need to spend a fortune to create great content.
Right, it's about being creative
Totally.
and using what you have.
And, he encourages everyone to experiment with lighting.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
It really elevates the quality of your content.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
What's that?
He's not just sharing his results, he's sharing his process.
Right.
His tools, his mindset.
He's empowering others.
Yeah. It's like he's saying, hey, you can do this too.
Exactly. I love that.
Now, we've talked about lighting, but he also gets creative with AI when it comes to visuals.
Oh, okay. Tell me more about that.
He uses Photoshop Beta to extend the backgrounds of his vertical videos.
Wait, what? How does that work?
Imagine taking a still frame from your video and then having Photoshop generate imagery that extends the scene beyond the original frame.
Oh, wow. So you're like creating a bigger space.
Exactly.
Without actually having to go to a bigger space.
Right. You're adding depth and visual interest without needing elaborate sets or locations.
That's genius. I never would have thought of that.
It's a pretty cool trick.
It is. And then he uses AI to stylize his videos too, right?
He does. He uses a tool called Runway Gen 1.
Oh, I've heard of Runway.
Yeah.
It's like it can transform your footage in all sorts of crazy ways.
Yeah. I've seen people use it to make their videos look like, paintings or like old films.
Right. It can be really artistic.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So he uses Runway to conceal his face
Okay.
or create unique visual identities.
Oh, so that's good for people who are like camera shy.
Exactly. Or who just want to experiment with different aesthetics.
It's like he's constantly pushing the boundaries, exploring new possibilities.
Yeah. With AI as his creative partner.
This is awesome. I'm learning so much.
Me too.
We've covered so much already, like his early struggles, how he uses AI for content creation, his whole mindset.
And we're just getting started.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. In part 2, we're going to dive even deeper into his AI-powered workflow.
Okay.
We'll uncover his strategies for captions, hashtags,
Ooh, those are important.
and even how he handled a surprising bot attack.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's drama.
I'm hooked.
Stay tuned. Welcome back. So we left off talking about how Dominic was using AI to, really understand his audience and their emotions.
Yeah, it was like mind-blowing.
Right. And, all of that feeds into his content creation process. But there are some other really cool ways he's using AI to streamline things.
Okay, like what?
Well, let's talk captions and hashtags.
Oh, yeah, those are always such a pain.
Right. You spend all this time creating a video, and then it's like, ugh, now I got to come up with the perfect caption and a million relevant hashtags.
This is the worst.
Yeah. But Dominic figured out a way to make that process a breeze with GPT.
Oh, tell me everything.
So he'd take the transcript from his video,
Right.
feed it to GPT, and just ask for a caption and hashtags.
Wait, that's it?
Pretty much. Boom, GPT delivers.
So it's like having a personal copywriter on call 247.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
I know, right? But the real magic is in how he created this feedback loop.
Okay, what do you mean by feedback loop?
So after posting, he'd share his daily performance metrics with GPT.
Okay, reach, engagement, all that good stuff.
Exactly. So GPT was constantly learning and adapting.
Oh, interesting.
It was getting smarter with each piece of data.
That's like next level AI utilization.
I know, right? It's like having a coach who analyzes your game and helps you improve.
So with this feedback loop, GPT's recommendations became more and more tailored to his specific goals.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
It's amazing what you can do when you really understand how to use these tools.
Absolutely.
But, his journey wasn't all smooth sailing.
Oh, what happened?
Well, he had this crazy experience with a bot attack.
A bot attack. What does that even mean?
Okay, so picture this.
Okay.
Dominic's at the gym, feeling good, checking his phone between sets.
Okay.
He's seeing his follower count steadily climbing.
Cool.
He's at 88,000 followers. Things are looking great.
Awesome.
Right. But then he goes home and his girlfriend is like, Dominic, you're at 160,000 followers. You did it.
Wait, hold on. That's a huge jump.
Right.
That doesn't seem right.
He thought it was a mistake,
Yeah.
But nope, his follower count had exploded overnight.
So what was going on? Did something go viral?
Not exactly. He dug into his follower list and discovered the culprit. 80,000 bot accounts.
Went 80,000 bots.
Yeah. All with those telltale signs.
What do you mean? Like, what kind of sign?
Like anime profile pictures, weird usernames, the whole 9 yards.
So it was just a massive influx of fake followers.
Exactly.
Oh, man, that must have been devastating.
It was. All that hard work, all that genuine engagement suddenly overshadowed by this wave of bots.
Yeah, like, it almost feels like it cheapens your success.
Totally. He felt angry, sad, betrayed.
I can imagine.
Like he thought people would think he bought followers.
Yeah, that would be awful.
So what do you think he did?
Well, I'm guessing he didn't just, like, ignore it.
He didn't. He did what he always did. He turned to his AI agent, GPT, for advice.
Of course he did. So what did GPT say?
GPT actually gave some surprisingly wise advice.
Okay, let's hear it.
It told him to embrace honesty and transparency, explain what happened to his followers, be upfront about how it made him feel, and outline steps to protect the community going forward.
Wow, that's actually really good advice.
Right.
Because it's like, in a world where everyone's trying to project perfection, admitting vulnerability can be really powerful.
Exactly. It shows that you're human.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. He made a post explaining the situation, and his followers were super supportive.
Well, they appreciated his honesty.
Totally. They saw that he was being real with them, and it actually strengthened the bond between them.
That's awesome.
He turned what could have been a really negative situation into a moment of connection.
It's amazing how he keeps finding ways to turn challenges into opportunities.
It's pretty inspiring.
It is.
But, even with all this success, he still faced some very human struggles.
Oh, yeah. What else happened?
Well, he talks about experiencing burnout.
Oh, man. I feel that.
Right. Especially for creators, the pressure to constantly churn out content can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
So he hit this huge milestone, 100,000 followers.
Amazing.
Right. A dream come true.
Yeah.
But instead of feeling ecstatic, he was completely drained.
Oh, no.
He described it like that feeling after you've had way too much coffee.
I know that feeling.
That energy crash.
Yeah, like you're just running on fumes.
Exactly. And his friends were telling him to just push through it, but he knew he needed something more.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to take a break.
He did. But first, he turned to GPT for guidance, almost like an AI therapist.
Wow. I love that he trusts GPT enough to go to it for advice in a crisis.
Right.
So what did GPT tell him?
GPT actually surprised him with a really empathetic response.
Okay.
It told him it was normal to feel burned out,
Right.
that he needed to prioritize himself and avoid pushing himself too hard.
Oh, it's like GPT was giving him permission to rest.
Exactly. It was a reminder that even though we have all these incredible tools at our disposal,
Yeah.
we're still human.
Right.
We need rest. We need to recharge.
That's so important, and it's so easy to forget that when you're, like, caught up in the hustle,
Totally.
always striving for the next goal.
And what's really cool?
What?
He decided to share his experience with his audience.
Oh, wow, that's brave.
He realized that being open about his burnout could help others avoid falling into the same trap.
Yeah, it normalizes the conversation around mental health.
Exactly. And his followers responded really positively.
That's awesome.
It strengthened the bond between them even more.
He turned what could have been a personal struggle into another moment of connection.
He's really good at that, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
It's like every challenge just makes him stronger and more connected to his community.
Exactly. Now, remember how we talked about how his dad introduced him to Photoshop when he was a kid?
Yeah, it was like his first spark of creativity.
Right. Well, on day 30 of his AI agent challenge, he gets an email from Adobe.
No way. Adobe, the company behind Photoshop.
The one and only. They asked him to collaborate.
That's amazing.
Right.
Like, what are the chances?
It was a dream come true. This company that had basically ignited his creative spark all those years ago.
Yeah, it's like full circle.
Totally.
So did they do something together?
They did. They made a post together and it went viral.
No way.
Yeah. Over 1 million views.
That's incredible.
I know, right?
It's like the universe was rewarding him for all his hard work and his willingness to embrace new technologies.
Absolutely. And that success just fueled his ambition even more.
Okay, what did he do next?
He decided to take on a new challenge.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Achieving $1 million in 100 days using AI as his business co-founder.
Hold on, $1 million in 100 days. That's ambitious.
Right. He's not just using AI for content creation anymore. He's envisioning it as a partner in building a business.
That's a whole new level of AI integration.
It is. He believes that AI can empower anyone to become an entrepreneur, to pursue their passions and create their own opportunities.
I love that. It's a really exciting vision of the future.
It is. And you know what? He's not keeping this journey to himself.
Oh, of course not. He's sharing it with his audience.
He's documenting everything publicly, the highs and lows, the whole shebang.
I love that.
It's like he's saying, hey, let's figure this out together.
It's so inspiring.
Right.
So where do we go from here? What's next?
Well, in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to unpack the key takeaways from Dominic's story
It's okay.
and explore the broader implications of AI for creators, entrepreneurs, and really anyone looking to level up their work.
Okay, I'm ready for the big picture stuff.
Let's do it.
Wow, Dominic's story is just like, I don't know, inspiring.
It's pretty incredible, right?
It is. Like, it's amazing to see what he was able to accomplish, using AI.
Yeah, it really highlights the potential of these tools when they're used thoughtfully.
Totally. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's, break down some key takeaways for our listeners.
Okay, great idea.
What are, the biggest lessons we can learn from Dominic's journey?
Well, I think one of the most important things he emphasizes is the importance of data.
Right. Like, good data in, good data out.
Exactly. AI models are only as good as the information we feed them.
It's true.
If you want quality output, you got to provide, clear instructions, relevant data.
It's like you can't just expect AI to magically know what you want.
Right.
You have to guide it.
You have to train it.
Yeah, and give it the right information to work with.
Exactly. It's like teaching someone a new skill.
Okay, yeah.
You wouldn't expect them to become an expert overnight without proper guidance.
Right, right.
And AI is no different.
So it's a process.
It is.
And it requires, patience.
Patience.
And a willingness to, constantly learn and adapt.
Exactly.
I also think, what really stood out to me was Dominic's focus on emotional intelligence.
Oh, yeah, that was huge.
He understood that, connecting with his audience on a deeper level,
Right.
tapping into their emotions, their anxieties, their aspirations, that was so key.
Yeah, he really got that, people want to feel seen and understood.
Totally. And that's how you build a strong community.
Absolutely. And he used those 3 Fs, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfairness, fear, and frustration.
Yes. He used those to really understand his audience's pain points.
And then he used Alex Hermos's value equation to figure out what they really valued.
Exactly. It's like he was combining data-driven insights with this, deep understanding of human psychology.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff.
It is. And it allowed him to create content that resonated on a much deeper level.
So it's not just about, using AI to automate things.
Right.
It's about using it to, enhance your creativity and your ability to connect with people.
Absolutely.
So Dominic's story is definitely inspiring, but it also, raises some interesting questions about the future of work,
Right, totally.
It kind of paints this picture of a world where, AI empowers anyone to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I love that vision.
Right, and to, create their own opportunities.
Yeah, it's about taking control of your own destiny.
Yeah, and, working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And using AI as a partner, a collaborator.
Instead of fearing it.
Right. Embracing the possibility.
I think that's so important.
I do too. It's a mindset shift.
Yeah.
From competition to collaboration, from fear to possibility.
I like that.
And it really highlights the importance of cultivating those uniquely human skills.
Okay, like what?
Creativity, empathy, critical thinking, problem solving.
Those are things that AI can't replicate.
Exactly. Those are the skills that will allow us to thrive in this AI-powered world.
So as we wrap up, I guess the message is, don't be afraid to experiment with AI.
Yes.
Explore its potential, but always remember that it's a tool.
It is a powerful tool, but you got to use it wisely.
Exactly.
Use it to amplify your own voice, to enhance your creativity, to connect with your audience on a deeper level.
Dominic's journey shows us that, AI can be a force for good.
Absolutely.
A catalyst for personal growth.
And a way to achieve your goals.
So stay curious, stay open-minded, and, who knows what you might create with the help of AI.
The possibilities are endless.
That's it for this deep dive into the world of AI and content creation.
Hope you enjoyed it.
I know we did. Until next time.